Right now at 5, in an attempt to avoid a stopped vehicle, a pickup T-bones a different one.
We are calm, clear, and cold to start our Monday morning, but we got some gusty winds on the way. We'll talk about that coming up.
Also, Big Elk camping and floating prepares for the summer season.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Carrie Worthen.
I'm Chris Warner. So it's another cold start for us, even though today is the first day of May. Does not feel quite like May
No, it does not.
yet, but it's going to warm up later this week, and we're going to get some more much-needed rain chances out there. Right now, though, not too bad, other than the fact it's cold. MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line. Looking back to the south, we're looking good, and we're looking all right from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400, of course, just south of Pittsburgh. At 7th and Range Line, we're doing all right as well, but again, it is cold. 39 in Joplin, feels like 35 right now. That wind is west at 6, but later today, it's really going to pick up. Across the area, we've got 42 in Nevada, 43 Fort Scott, 42 Pittsburgh, 35 in Parsons, 43 Miami, and 41 in Neosho. As we get our day started, winds will start to increase, and we're going to see those wind gusts anywhere from 20 to 30 miles an hour, and on occasion, they may go just a pinch over 30 miles an hour, and as such, we do have an elevated fire danger today, so no outdoor burning. We're going to slowly warm into the mid-50s by late morning, but we'll have plentiful sunshine out there, and that'll be the trend for the rest of today, really. Just plentiful sunshine, maybe a passing cloud or two. However, it stays breezy, and we don't really do a lot of warming. We're talking low to mid-60s. However, some of us in the western parts of southeast Kansas may push the mid to upper 60s today, and all of that warm air will continue to move into our area over the next several days. Tonight, winds will calm down as we head through the evening and overnight hours, but then they're expected to pick up again tomorrow, and it's another pretty chilly evening for us as we drop back down to a low of 43. So as we go again through the first half of this week, we're looking okay. We'll actually start to see that warming trend take place over the next 2 or 3 days, and then as we head into the end of the week, that's when we start to see some shower chances. So Wednesday evening, this should still be just to our west, but as we head into Thursday morning and throughout the day Thursday, showers and a few thunderstorms are looking increasingly likely for us as we go through Thursday evening, and overnight into Friday morning, some additional showers and thunderstorms. And then those will pause briefly and take a look at the warmer weather before it starts to return for us a little bit Saturday morning and more as we head into Saturday evening. Let's look at the week ahead. We're mostly sunny again tomorrow, mid-60s, near 70 by Wednesday. Got those thunderstorm chances Thursday into Friday. We're looking at temperatures into the upper 70s near 80, pushing 80 by Saturday with some additional shower chances in the evening. And we got a decent weekend ahead of us, and even next week, temperatures stay nice with more additional rain chances. Carrie?
Thanks, Chris. A pickup swerves to avoid a stopped vehicle and ends up T-boning another one near Carthage, Missouri. About 4:30 p.m. on Saturday, reports of 2-vehicle crash at Country Road 170 and Fur Road State Highway HH was called into Jasper County 911. One driver was transported to Mercy in Carthage. The injured driver was identified as Jason Jones of Carthage. He was operating a 1990 Chevy 1500 pickup. He suffered moderate injuries but was wearing his seatbelt. The other driver, John Kilmer of Carthage, was also wearing his seatbelt and was not injured. A motorcycle crash off Schiffendecker causes the driver to be rushed to the hospital. About 11:30 on Saturday night, reports of a motorcycle crash near Schiffendecker and Jungle Boulevard was called into Joplin 911. The crash was initially discovered by a Jasper County Sheriff deputy who happened to notice the crash and called his dispatch. It was a single vehicle crash involving a motorcycle. The motorcycle was traveling south on Schiffendecker, clipped the curb, and lost control, which ejected the driver. The driver traveled about 300 feet before coming to rest on West Sidewalk. He was rushed to the hospital, and there is no update on his condition. Big Elk and floating camping has already opened for the season, but are expected to have a full schedule this summer. From a variety of kayaks, canoes, paddleboards, and tubes, there are multiple ways to float down the river. Big Elk's daily hours may open at 8 a.m., but they strive to help their customers to the fullest extent. Drew Daniel says safety is one of the most important things. from going through every canoe and kayak to checking every life jacket and paddle.
Safety is very, very important to us because it just ensures a better trip for our customers. When we're on our A game, our customers are going to be on an A+ game.
Big Elk has 17 cabins, 2 of which are newly built, and add some new rock to the RV pads to get ready for the summer. Students in Missouri Southern State University's Kinesiology Department hosted their annual 5K run. This year's 5K was puppy run themed. Runners could enter the race individually or race along their furry friends. The department teamed up with Golden Paw Adoption Center and Sanctuary to bring dogs for people to play, run, or walk with. The run is organized every year to remember Lori Poved, who graduated from MSSU in 1986.
My students every semester or every year in the practicum and wellness class, they put on this 5K. It gives them real world experience about how an event actually works. It's not just you wake up and you decide, oh, we're going to run a 5K today. There's a lot of work that goes behind it. So this is the culmination of all their semester's hard work.
The race was held at Leggett and Platt Athletic Center. The Carthage High School Band Program hosted their 4th annual mattress sale Sunday at Carthage High School. Band members sold deals on over 20 styles of name brand mattresses, all of which were on display for local shoppers. Profits from the sale went directly to the band program.
Funds that we raise today will help us in the fall when we do marching season. We have many things that we have to purchase for our field show competition, our field show itself. We have props and just different things, also feeding the kids at different times.
The sale was one day only and it ended yesterday evening. A local church hosted a car show in honor of the late car enthusiast. KOAM's Shagum Bomadelli was there and has more.
The Larry Mills Memorial Car Show is an annual event that celebrates the life and legacy of Larry Mills, a well-respected car enthusiast who passed away. The car show is used to raise money for summer camps and mission trips.
About 12 years ago, my husband loved cars and had started showing cars in local car show, his car in local car shows, and he said, I would love to have a car show at our church.
Laura says all the proceeds goes towards helping kids.
All of the proceeds go towards our kids, particularly the kids that can't afford to go to church camp in the summer or to go on the mission trip to help fund their trip.
People could vote on which cars they love the most.
So they just look at the cars. They can vote to see, they can vote on which one is their favorite. And then we also have some judges that are going to vote or to judge the cars. And then at the end of the day, we'll give some awards out.
Laura tells me about our favorite car.
Well, I'm biased. I have my car here, and it's my favorite. But so I'll leave it at that. It's hard to pick favorites.
Reporting in Joplin, Shagum Bomadelli, KOAM News.
A total of 67 cars attended the show. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, PSU hopes to take 3rd place in the MIAA when it comes to baseball. Plus, how animation is being used to help kids express their feelings. And how racism may be shaping obstetric care. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back.
Well, we've reached the final weekend of the MIAA regular season. Yesterday afternoon was a crucial game for Pittsburgh State and the right to take 3rd place in the MIAA. The Gorillas at home trying to win the series finale against Washburn. A win, Pitt State is in 3rd place. Lose, and they're in 4th place. Bottom of the 3rd, Pitt State down 4-0. Austin Workin slices this down the left field line. Joe Hamilton scores. Gorillas get on the board down 4-1. Go to the bottom of the 4th now, same score. Brevin Lee keeps this fair down the right field line. 1 run scores. 2 runs score. It's a 2-run double by Lee, and Pitt State within 1, down 4-3. So now to the top of the 5th. Same score. Washburn's Ike Book gets that through the left side of the infield. RBI single puts the Ichabods up 5-3. Bottom of the ninth now. Gorillas down 6-4. Strike them out, throw them out play, and that's how this one ends. Washburn comes into Pitt State winning the series finale 6-4. Gorillas finish in 4th place in the MIAA standings. Pitt State hosts Central Oklahoma next week for round 1 of the MIAA tournament. Series finale for the Missouri Southern Lions. They are unable to complete the sweep of Missouri Western. The good news is Lions really had nothing to gain or lose in this matchup. However, Missouri Southern loses the series finale to Mo West 15-4. Matt Miller goes 2 for 3 with a home run and 3 RBIs. Missouri Southern will open the first round of the MIAA tournament hosting Newman at home this Friday at 1. Pittsburgh State is wrapping up their regular season on the road at Newman in Wichita. The Gorillas scored all of their runs in the first inning of the game. The Gorillas win this one 2-0. Sophia Driver goes 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Hannah Harrison pitches a complete game shutout, only allowing 5 hits and 4 strikeouts. Pitt State is unable to complete the sweep, losing game 2 of their doubleheader 5-4. However, Gianna Pellegrino goes 3 for 3 with a double and 3 RBIs. The Gorillas finish in 10th place in the MIAA this season. That loss really stings because Pitt State is unable to clinch a spot in the MIAA tournament next weekend. Well, still to come, do you want to do a jailbreak? A jail in Australia is giving you the chance to do just that. And we're going to take another look at that breezy forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:17 on this Monday. Taking a look at the MoDOT camera, 20th and Range line. We're looking good so far, and that's not where we were supposed to be. Now we're back to that camera. That's my fault. Now to the camera from KDOT at 69 and 400 just south of Pittsburgh, also looking good. Same from 7th and Range line. However, it is a bit on the cold side. We're at 39 in Joplin, feeling like 35 with a west breeze at about 6 miles an hour, but that wind is going to pick up later today and then again tomorrow as well. 41 in Lamar, 42 Pittsburgh, 35 in Parsons, 41s in Chanute, Independence, and Chautauqua, 43 in Miami, and 41 in Neosho and Monette. So we get our day started. The wind will start to pick up. We'll have mostly sunny skies, maybe a passing cloud or 2, getting into the mid-50s, and we're talking winds gusting 20, 30 miles an hour, maybe just a little over that at times. So we do have an elevated fire danger, so outdoor burning not recommended today. Sunny skies will hold on with us throughout the afternoon and into the early evening hours, but we're still a little on the cool side. We had that cold front push through, and it definitely knocked our temps down a little bit. Low to mid-60s for highs. Back to the lower 40s tonight. Winds will calm down, but we will hold on to those clear skies as we head into the evening. However, as we head toward the end of this week, there's 2 things that are going to begin to happen. One, our temperatures are going to begin to warm up and start to be a little bit more seasonable for this time of year. The second thing that's going to happen is we're going to start to see shower and thunderstorm chances build in as we go into Thursday morning and throughout the day Thursday and into Friday morning as well. You can see we've got those scattered showers, maybe a few thunderstorms, and those will hold on with us through Friday morning, and then they'll pause Friday evening before returning again for Saturday evening. So take a look at these temperatures. Got a pretty decent Tuesday and Wednesday ahead of us. Temperatures will continue to warm into the upper 70s near 80. We go through the weekend, other than the showers Saturday, a decent Sunday, and then we stay warm, which is good. I like the warmer weather near 80 the majority of next week, but we also have some additional much-needed shower and thunderstorm chances in the forecast. Well, students at a San Diego area elementary school are using animation to explore difficult social issues. The innovative program allows the kids to create art as a way to express their feelings and share their experiences. Camilla Bernal has more.
Good morning, buenos dias. The day begins for these 5th graders with the usual subjects: math, science, reading, and even PE. 26. Those may appear easy in comparison to talking about gun violence, global warming, bullying, racism.
I chose racism because for me, racism is something that I see often and something that happens, and I feel like all people should be treated the same way, not just because they're different, because inside we're all the same.
Christian Lopez is just one of the more than 500 5th grade students tackling these issues at the National School District just outside of San Diego. The students choose a topic.
I did like world hunger. I feel bad. I really feel bad about because they don't have the life I have. We can donate to help them get food and fresh water.
And then use animation.
Do you think guns should be allowed? Well, I don't.
To explain their thoughts.
Immigration is a problem for everyone. They separate individuals from one another. That's a form of injustice.
If these are the issues, these are the components that these young people will face as they become adult, then I believe that it is our responsibility to support them in learning how to maneuver some of the nuances.
But maneuvering wasn't always easy, according to animator David Heredia, who created this 5-week program.
It makes people uncomfortable when you put them in a situation to talk about something that is not their lived experience. And because of that, I think it's unfair to put a muzzle on a child who wants to express what they're feeling.
So instead, you allow them to talk through their art.
Just because they're different race doesn't mean that you have to be rude or to not to be nice to them, because it's really hurtful for those people.
They found ways to help solve or highlight the issues.
No matter what color we are, we all are human.
And then they got to feel like celebrities as they share their animations with the world.
It allows us to actually stop and listen to what's going on in the world of a child and have them offer a potential solution to that problem.
When you're kind to someone, they're going to be kind to someone else, or you should always be kind.
The students feel heard and say they will continue to explore these social justice issues.
We could still keep working on and progress to make it better.
David Heredia worked previously for Disney. He says he hopes his animation project will get students to use their critical thinking skills. And that brings us to our question for you this morning. How do you express yourself? Is it through journaling or writing, art, dance, outdoor activities, performing arts? Some of those things, none of those things, or maybe something that's not on that list. We want to hear from you, so make sure you take time to vote through our website at koamnewsnow.com/vote. You can also do so through the app and take part in the discussion on our Facebook page. We will be back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning, researchers may have found a new risk for breast cancer. According to a study published in JAMA Oncology, it has to do with breast density. If the density of one breast is declining at a slower rate than the other, the study says cancer is often detected in that breast. Scientists at Washington University in St. Louis complied the research from more than 10,000 women over a 10-year period. While breast density is a known risk factor for cancer, a study says more research is needed on how breast density changes over time. A new study suggests Black and Latina mothers may have been inducted into labor based on the needs of white mothers and not their own. Researchers at the University of Colorado Boulder looked at more than 40 million births. They found the rate of induced labor nearly tripled between 1990 and 2017. Women in all three groups had similar increased rates of induced labor. Nearly 1 in 5 women will experience a mental health condition while pregnant or in the year after the birth, according to the World Health Organization, and many of those women never get treatment to help. Mandy Gaither has more on one woman's journey towards healing and why no one has to suffer in silence.
It was probably the scariest time of my life.
It was supposed to be one of the happiest. Claudia Duvall was pregnant for the first time, but she says fears and intrusive thoughts kept her on edge and only got worse after her daughter was born.
It started off with excessive anxiety, deep spells of depression that was hypervigilant. I was cleaning obsessively, just behaviors that, in hindsight, I realized were not normal.
Duvall says she suffered in silence for 4 months before reaching out for help. An OBGYN referral guided her to a nonprofit organization called Postpartum Support International.
Perinatal mental health disorders are much more common than people realize.
The organization's executive director says many women either don't know they have the symptoms, don't realize the symptoms may be temporary and treatable, or are too embarrassed to get help.
If you have these symptoms and you are depressed or anxious, you're left to think, I am not meant to be a mother. I shouldn't tell anyone. And that is why people don't reach out.
That support system helped Duval and held her up through a second pregnancy, even when she felt the same fears.
Just really prepared myself for anything that, that could come my way.
For Duval, having that knowledge made a world of difference. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
There are many ways for someone to get help with mental health issues during and after pregnancy, so talk to your doctor. One way is to get help by calling Postpartum Support International. Any parent feeling unlike themselves can call or text 1-800-944-4773. You don't need a mental health diagnosis to reach out, and those who answer can guide you to other resources as well. That's a look at some of today's hot health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we have got ourselves a calm but cold start to our Monday morning. However, warmer weather on the way this week, rain on the way this week, and very breezy today. We'll take a look at that forecast when we come back.
Right now at 5:30, Empire Market turns 5. We'll have how they celebrated.
And we are calm and clear, but also cold right now. We will eventually warm up at least a little, and the winds will pick up. Take a look at that coming up.
Also, the Clay Cup at El Taco Zone teams up to host Bowl-a-thon.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:31. I'm Carrie Worthen.
I'm Chris Warner. So I'm sure you noticed it's cold outside again this
chilly.
morning. My car reminded me that it's cold outside because it has that ice warning on it. Even though there's no chance of ice, it lets you know because it's so cold. It doesn't feel like May the 1st, does it?
No, I remote started my vehicle this morning.
Yeah, I am really done with these cold temperatures. And I've got good news if you're done with them too, because we will start to warm up. We still have a couple of cool days to get through. Right now, MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line, looking good so far. And we are also looking good from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400, just south of Pittsburgh, Kansas. And as we look at 7th and Range Line, again, another nice view. It is clear out there, but cold. 39 degrees in Joplin. Feels like 35, though, with a west breeze at 6, but that breeze is really going to be picking up later today. Quick look at temperatures around the region. We got 41 Nevada, 40 in Pittsburgh, 41 Chanute, 39 Chautauqua, Miami, and 41 Neosho and Monette. We get our day started, winds will start to increase, and we're talking gusts 20, 30 miles an hour, so there is an elevated fire danger, so outdoor burning not recommended today. Will otherwise be sunny, but despite the sun, we don't do a ton of warming, only into the mid-50s by late morning. We're looking on average for highs in the low to mid-60s today, under mostly clear skies, again, maybe a passing cloud or two, otherwise quite breezy. We head into this evening and the overnight, and the winds will let up at least briefly for us before they pick up again tomorrow. We remain clear, and as such, we're going to have another pretty chilly night for us as well, dropping back into the lower 40s. We look ahead, not bad. We got 64 tomorrow, sunny skies, a few more clouds Wednesday, 70. Our temperatures really start to warm up as we head toward the end of the week, pushing at or near 80 degrees. But then we also have thunderstorm chances Thursday and Friday, and then maybe some showers on Saturday. However, this is what I was talking about earlier. These warm temperatures are going to stick with us. We're hanging out in the upper 70s as we kick off the next work week. But we also have some additional much-needed rain chances on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Carrie?
Thanks, Chris. Big Elk Floating and Camping has already opened for the season, but are expected to have a full schedule this summer. From a variety of kayaks, canoes, paddleboards, and tubes, there are multiple ways to float down the river. Big Elk's daily hours may open at 8 a.m., but they strive to help their customers to the fullest extent. Drew Daniels says safety is one of the most important things, from going through every canoe and kayak to checking every life jacket and paddle.
Safety is very, very important to us because it just ensures a better trip for our customers. When we're on our A game, our customers are going to be on an A+ game.
Big Elk has 17 cabins, 2 of which are newly built, and they added some new rock to the RV pads to get ready for this summer. Invisible art. The invisible art was created through the use of an environmentally friendly spray that is visible only in the rain. Local youth ages 11 through 18 were involved in the volunteer project. The Youth Corps hopes that this project will bring a smile to someone's face on a gloomy day.
Yeah, so today we are creating invisible artwork on the sidewalks with a special spray that will only show up when the sidewalk gets wet. It's a product called Rainworks. It's a hydrophobic spray, so you spray it on. We're using stencils.
My favorite part is getting to give back to my community, the community that gives so much to us, that I think getting to give back and show the community what we're grateful for is definitely the best part.
The spray is biodegradable and will dissolve in a few months. Teamed up to host their 5th annual Bowl-a-thon and Street Festival in Neosho, Missouri. Area potters participated in the event making bowls for Water Garden's 11th annual Empty Bowls event. The public was free to enjoy live music and Mexican food while they supported their favorite local artist.
Is our 5th annual bowl-a-thon, and what I mean by bowl-a-thon, we're not bowling, we're making bowls for Watered Gardens Empty Bowls fundraiser. You know, this is one thing that all the potters can get together and do for our community, to help with the soup kitchens, to help with the homeless, to do what we can do.
Bowls were available for purchase with all proceeds from this event benefiting local service groups. Empire Market hosted a special event to celebrate their 5th year of business. Along with visiting the usual vendor, market guests could sign the market's giant birthday card and register for a raffle to win an entire greenhouse. Pollinator kits were available in the community garden, and live music helped get the event rolling.
So we are primarily at our core, we're a 4-season farmers market. So every single Saturday we're open 10 to 2. We have produce, meat, eggs, bread, all the typical things that you can find at a farmers market.
The Empire Market is open every Saturday at 10 a.m. This morning we're discussing expressing yourself.
Now, the day begins for these 5th graders with the usual subjects, math, science, reading, and even PE. Those may appear to be easy in comparison to talking about gun violence, global warming, bullying, and racism. The students choose a topic and then they're using animation to explain their thoughts.
But maneuvering wasn't always easy, according to the amateur David Heredia, who created this 5-week program. So instead, you allow them to talk through their art. They found ways to help solve or highlight the issues. They got to feel like celebrities as they shared their animations with the world.
That brings us to our question for you this morning. How do you express yourself? You've got a number of choices down there. So far, 34% of you say you express yourself through some of these things. Another 34% of you say that you go express yourself through outdoor activities. 16% of you say you do it through something that's not on our list, and another 16% of you say you do it through art. So make sure you take time to vote through our website, through our app, and of course take part in the discussion on our Facebook page and share how you express yourself.
How do you express yourself?
That is an excellent question. I just, that's a good question. I guess I don't really do it all that much, I suppose.
Well, we have to think that we have kids, so we express ourselves because we color, we dance, we draw.
That's true.
We do all
That's
that
true.
stuff with
I
our
play
kids.
video games with the
Yeah.
boys. They really like that. So there's that, I guess.
Yes. All right, that's a look at our top news stories coming up on this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. A dog missing since 2017 is reunited with its owner.
Plus, a man who fathered 500 children via being a sperm donor is ordered to stop. We'll have the latest.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. Topping World Watch. Heavy fighting and insecurity has driven tens of thousands to flee Sudan in search of safety in neighboring countries. In Chad, UNHCR and its partners have deployed emergency teams along the eastern border with Sudan to respond to urgent needs for protection and humanitarian assistance. A Dutch court bans a sperm donor who'd fathered at least 550 kids. The court banned the man from donating any more sperm in the civil case, alleging that he deliberately lied about how many children he helped produce. In the Netherlands, donors are only allowed to produce up to 25 children with 12 mothers. The court saying that his many offsprings are now, quote, part of a huge kinship network with hundreds of half-siblings which they did not choose. It's being called the largest, most valuable private jewelry collection to ever go to auction. More than 700 jewels belonging to the late Australian billionaire Heidi Horton are expected to fetch $150 million. That would break the record set by Elizabeth Taylor's personal jewelry, which went for $116 million in 2011. Horton's pieces include a 90-carat diamond necklace and a ruby and diamond Cartier ring. Christine said the proceeds will go to the Heidi Horton Foundation, which supports a museum she established in Vienna, as well as medical research, child welfare, and other causes. The collection will be sold in a series of auctions in Geneva next month in November. It seems a little one in Wales really likes the Princess of Wales style. The baby tried to make a piece of the princess's wardrobe part of his own on Friday. The one-year-old Daniel Williams was with his mother Lucy waiting to greet the princess in Aberfan, Wales. The child took hold of her small black bag and started playing with it and didn't want to give it back. Lucy ultimately had to wrestle the bag out of his hands, even though Princess Kate said he could keep hold of it while she greeted other members of the public. A group of knitters and crocheters in England put together its own version of King Charles' upcoming coronation. The group knitted and crocheted versions of King Charles, Queen Consort Camilla, and others and placed the figures on posts around the community pond in the village of Hurst, about 35 miles west of London. It's a trend that becomes popular across the UK, knitters and crocheters decorating public spaces to celebrate holidays and royal occasions. This display also includes Grenadier Guards and Archbishop of Canterbury. The words notorious prison and luxury hotel usually don't end up in the same sentence, but in Australia they belong together. 26 years after the doors slammed shut on one of the country's most infamous prisons, the shackles of the past have been thrown off in a big way. The ancient prison Pendridge near Melbourne has reopened as a billion-dollar dining and entertainment venue. The centerpiece of the redevelopment is the Interlude and Wellness Retreat, featuring 19 luxury suites with a vaulted brick ceilings, original cell doors, and blue stone walls. That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:47 on this Monday, first day of May, and you wouldn't know if you stepped outside. MoDOT camera 20th and range line, looking back to the south, looking good so far, and same from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400, just south of Pittsburgh. The one thing that all of these cameras can't tell you is how cold it is, so we're going to tell you right now with this special magic box, and it is 39 degrees in Joplin. Clear skies, 35 is what it feels like with a west breeze at 6, but as we've been mentioning this morning, that wind is really going to pick up as we head into the late morning and afternoon hours. We got 39 Pittsburgh, 35 in Parsons, 36 Neodesha, 39 Chautauqua, Miami, 40 Neosho, Monette, and 37 in Carthage as we get our day started. Winds will start to pick up. We're talking gusts 20, 30 miles an hour. It'll be relatively common today. We could see a few gusts over that, but on average 20 to 30 mile an hour gusts. Otherwise, sunny skies. Despite the sun, not a lot of warming taking place, only mid-50s by late morning. And of course, with those gusty winds, we do have an elevated fire danger today, so outdoor burning definitely not recommended. We'll hold on to those sunny skies throughout the afternoon, maybe a passing cloud or two into the low to mid 60s overall for most of us. And as we head into this evening, we'll stay clear. The winds will calm down this evening and into the overnight hours, and we'll get quite chilly again, dropping back down to the lower 40s as we head into the overnight hours. However, two things are going to change this week. One is temperatures. Two is precipitation chances. So let's look down the road. We go through the first part of this week, not too bad. Even into Wednesday, not too bad, though we'll start to see a few more clouds as Wednesday progresses. And then just to our west, some scattered showers, a couple of thunderstorms, and that activity will start to make its way in here overnight Wednesday into Thursday morning. And we'll see those showers and some thunderstorms go through our day on Thursday, into Thursday evening overnight, and then into Friday morning. We could still see some showers and thunderstorms across the area. And we get a pause in that activity, and then it'll return again Saturday evening. So we're getting a brief break to enjoy some nice weather, and then we're going to see additional much-needed rain chances. And that's the other thing we can't emphasize enough is how much this rain is needed. I know for some folks, it makes it difficult to get outdoors and enjoy warm weather, but at the same time, this rain is needed, and that lack of rain affects us all. All right, tomorrow, mid-60s, sunny skies, breezy again, 20 to 30 mile an hour gusts. 70 Wednesday, a few more clouds, especially in the evening. Got those thunderstorm chances Thursday and into Friday morning, but we're pushing near 80 now, and of course that helps our overnight lows significantly as well. 80 by Saturday, some evening showers again. Sunday so far looking pretty good, upper 70s, and we'll hang on to the upper 70s as we kick off the next work week, and we still have another round of potential showers and thunderstorms Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. So we got a couple of good days, decent temperatures to get out and enjoy, and then some additional much-needed rain chances filtering into the forecast. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
A dog that vanished in Georgia 6 years ago was found over the weekend in West Virginia. The owner was thrilled that the unexpected news shall soon be reunited with Chief. Andrew Colgrove reports.
This pit bull, Chief, happy and healthy, and the subject of one of those rare, unlikely stories.
It's heartwarming. It's pretty amazing.
Honestly, never thought I would see him again.
His owner, Tara Hillis, lives in Georgia and says he disappeared from her property in 2017 when he was 1.5 years old.
He either jumped the fence or dug up under it.
Weeks turned into months, then into years, with no word on his whereabouts.
Initially, I thought somebody might have took him to try to breed him, but he's fixed. So many years go by, you just kind of like, oh, I miss him.
A couple people say they found Chief Saturday, alone, wandering at East Lynn Lake in Wayne County, and brought him to the Huntington Cabell Wayne Animal Shelter.
He's just a big baby.
Workers here were able to find Tara's contact information thanks to a chip she had put in him.
I can't believe this. I cannot believe this. This is insane.
After 6 years, Tara had pretty much given up any hope that she would ever be seeing Chief again, and she was thrilled when she got the phone call he'd been found. Did you cry?
It's already given me chills.
Rachel Boone is the canine behavior specialist at the shelter.
Soon he will have his forever again with the people he needs to be with his family.
Every single time I would talk about it all day that day, I would just get chill bumps.
If I think about my dog missing that long, it makes me want to cry. Like, I already want to cry for her.
What do you think that's going to feel like for you, that first moment you get to see him and hold him again?
Emotional. And I pray to God that he remembers us.
What sort of incredible journey Chief's had over these years and how he ended up so far away, Tara may never know. But the gaps in the story, nothing compared to the hole in her heart that's been filled.
Tara says they're still ironing out the details of how they'll get Chief back home. She says someone from the shelter has offered to drive him halfway, which could happen today. We'll be right back. You're looking at the latest addition to the Pittsburgh Zoo and Aquarium, Amur leopard cubs. They were born March 18th, both Mother and Simba, who were also born at the zoo, and the cubs are thriving well. Anyone anxious to see them will have to wait till June, though. That's when they will get vaccinated and learn how to navigate the outdoors. But for now, animal lovers can lend a helping hand in naming them. For a $5 donation, people can submit name recommendations on the zoo's website. That contest is expected to close at the end of May. A polar bear cub has been born at Hamburg Zoo. The animal was born in mid-December 2022 to polar bear Victoria. The zoo announced in Hamburg on Thursday the mother, who was also born in the zoo in 2002, is taking very loving care of her newborn. According to a press release, the zoo did not initially provide any information on the sex of the animal. Mother and child are still shielded from visitors. Soon, however, a monitor will be installed at the polar bear enclosure so that visitors can watch a glimpse of the two inside the enclosure.
It almost feels like a polar bear enclosure outside right now, but we will eventually start to warm. We get sunny skies, mid-50s by late morning. Also an elevated fire danger with winds gusting today 20-30 miles an hour. We'll get into the low to mid-60s today, holding on to those sunny skies, maybe a few passing clouds here and there. And we remain clear as we head into the evening and overnight hours, and that allows us to cool down back into the lower 40s. But the winds will calm down overnight, and then they'll pick up again 20-30 miles an hour tomorrow. Mid-60s, sunny. A few more clouds late Wednesday, 70. Shower and thunderstorm chances Thursday, Friday, and then again late Saturday. Temperatures upper 70s, 80 degrees, so a pretty decent weekend aside from the showers. And then more much-needed rain chances as we kick off the next work week. Temperatures upper 70s. Storms Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We're back with more right after this.
Right now at 6, the Youth Corps of Joplin gathered to create invisible art.
Clear, calm, cold right now, but winds are going to increase and rain chances will increase later this week. We'll look at that coming up.
Also, a motorcycle crash sends one man to the hospital.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. I'm Carrie Worthen.
I'm Chris Warner, just after 6 o'clock on this Monday morning, May the 1st. But I feel like we have to remind people it's May 1st because it certainly does not feel like May the 1st out there across the area.
I would agree with that.
It is a bit on the chilly side. Right now, the MoDOT camera, 20th in range line. We are looking good so far. But again, what I've said before, these cameras can't show you how cold it is. Same from the camera at 69 and 400 from KDOT, just south of Pittsburgh. We got the sun starting to slowly come up, giving us just a little bit of light out there. And you can see we've got clear skies, but it is cold. 40 degrees in Joplin, feels like 35 with a west breeze at 7 miles an hour. And these winds will be increasing as we go through the morning. We've got 39 in Pittsburgh, Lamar, 33 in Parsons, 40 Chetopa, 41 Miami, Neosho, and 40 in Monette. All right, we get our day started. The winds start to increase, gusting 20, 30 miles an hour. So we do have an elevated fire danger today, so outdoor burning not recommended. Otherwise, we'll be sunny. However, that sunshine won't be enough to really send our temperatures soaring just yet. We're only going to make it into the mid-50s by late morning. We go into the afternoon, sunny skies continue, maybe a few passing clouds, low to mid-60s and still breezy, so keep that in mind. And then the winds will start to calm down as we go into the evening and overnight hours, and we'll remain with mostly clear skies, eventually dropping back to a pretty chilly 43 for our overnight low. However, a couple of changes on the way, warmer weather and more rain chances. All right, tomorrow, mostly sunny, still breezy again in the mid-60s, 70s Wednesday, near 80 Thursday and Friday, shower and thunderstorm chances build in. More showers and storm chances Saturday evening, and we hang on to the upper 70s all the way through next week with some additional much-needed rain chances Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Carrie?
Thanks, Chris. A pickup swerves to avoid a stopped vehicle. It ends up T-boning another near Carthage, Missouri. About 4:30 p.m. on Saturday, reports of two-vehicle crash at Country Road 170 and Fur Road State Highway HH was called into Jasper County 911. One driver was transported to Mercy in Carthage. The injured driver was identified as Jason Jones of Carthage. He was operating a 1990 Chevy 1500 pickup. He suffered moderate injuries but was wearing his seatbelt. The other driver, John Kilmer of Carthage, was also wearing his seatbelt and was not injured. A motorcycle crash on Schiffendecker causes the driver to be rushed to the hospital. About 11:30 on Saturday night, reports of a motorcycle crash near Schiffendecker and Jungle Boulevard was called into Joplin 911. The crash was initially discovered by a Jasper County Sheriff deputy who happened to notice the crash and called his dispatch. It was a single vehicle crash involving a motorcycle. The motorcycle was traveling south on Schiffendecker, clipped the curb, and lost control, which ejected the driver. The driver traveled about 300 feet before coming to rest on the west sidewalk. He was rushed to the hospital, and there is no update on his condition. It's getting closer to summertime, and local camping grounds are preparing. Big Elk's Floating and Camping has already opened for the season, but they are expecting to have a full schedule this summer. From a variety of kayaks, canoes, paddleboards, and tubes, there are multiple ways to float down the river. Big Elk's daily hours may open at 8 a.m., but they strive to help their customers to the fullest extent. Drew Daniels says safety is one of the most important things, from going through every canoe and kayak to checking every life jacket and paddle.
We're in the fun business. We love people. And it's so great to see people that came back in the 80s that are now bringing their grandchildren. It's family.
Big Elk has 17 cabins, 2 of which are newly built, and added some new rock to RV pads to get ready for the summer. The Youth Volunteer Corps of Joplin gathered on the sidewalks of downtown to create invisible art. The invisible art was created through the use of an environmentally friendly spray that is only visible in the rain. Local youth ages 11 through 18 were involved in the volunteer project. The Youth Corps hopes that the project will bring a smile to someone's face on a gloomy day.
Yeah, so today we are creating invisible artwork on the sidewalks with a special spray that will only show up when the sidewalk gets wet. It's a product called Rainworks. It's a hydrophobic spray, so you spray it on. We're using stencils.
My favorite part is getting to give back to my community, the community that gives so much to us, that I think getting to give back and show the community what we're grateful for is definitely the best part.
The spray is biodegradable and will dissolve in a few months. The Clay Cup and El Taco Zone teamed up to host their 5th annual Bowl-a-thon and Street Festival in Neosho, Missouri. Area potters participated in event-making bowls for Watered Gardens' 11th annual Empty Bowls event. The public was free to enjoy live music, Mexican food while they supported their favorite local artist.
It is our 5th annual bowl-a-thon, and what I mean by bowl-a-thon, we're not bowling, we're making bowls for Watered Gardens' Empty Bowls fundraiser. You know, this is one thing that all the potters can get together and do for our community, to help with the soup kitchens, to help with the homeless, to do what we can do.
Bowls were available for purchase, with all proceeds from this event benefiting local service groups. Joplin Empire Market hosted a special event to celebrate their 5th year of business. Along with visiting the usual vendors, market guests could sign the market's giant birthday card and register for a raffle to win an entire greenhouse. Pollinator kits were available in the community garden, and live music helped get the event rolling.
So we are primarily at our core, we're a 4-season farmers market. So every single Saturday we're open 10 to 2. We have produce, meat, eggs, bread, all the typical things that you can find at a farmers market.
The Empire Market is open every Saturday at 10 a.m. The manhunt continues in Texas for a suspect who targeted his neighbors in a deadly shooting rampage late Friday. In a rural community north of Houston, 5 were killed, including a 9-year-old boy. Police and FBI say they have widened their search to as far as 20 miles from the scene of the crime, and they're offering a reward in hopes it will lead to the suspect's arrest. Jared Hill has the latest.
The FBI says hundreds of law enforcement officers from over a dozen agencies are actively searching for 38-year-old Francisco Oropesa, the man suspected of killing 5 of his neighbors Friday night in Cleveland, Texas. Authorities are now offering $80,000 in reward money in an effort to turn up any leads.
We're asking everyone for your help so we can bring this suspect, or this monster I will call him, to justice.
According to officials, the suspect's rampage started late Friday night after a neighbor asked him to stop shooting his gun in his yard so they could put their baby to sleep. That's when investigators say Oropesa, who had been drinking, took an AR-style rifle to the neighbor's house and opened fire, killing 5. The youngest victim, identified as Daniel Enrique Lasso. He was just 9 years old. Daniel's mother was also killed.
Remember him.
Daniel's father, Wilson Garcia, along with other relatives and members of the community, came together for a prayer vigil yesterday. Garcia later told reporters that he was the one who spoke to Oropesa before the deadly shootings. He said he escaped the hail of bullets by jumping through a window.
We're looking for closure for this family.
Authorities have recovered the rifle believed that Oropesa allegedly used in the shootings, but they say he could still be armed and dangerous. Jared Hill, CBS News.
The family has created a GoFundMe account to pay for funeral expenses for the 5 victims and to help care for the child who lost their mothers. All 5 victims are believed to be Honduran. On Sunday, the Honduran Foreign Ministry told CBS that it is in contact with the families, the victims, to start the process to repatriate their bodies back to Honduras. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, 5,000 ducks tumbled into the Ohio River for the Kentucky Derby. Plus, did you know that more than half of Americans aren't worried about developing skin cancer? We'll have why they should be. And Chris will have a look at the forecast, including when the 4 states will see rain again. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch this morning. In Louisville, Kentucky, thousands of ducks tumbled into the Ohio River Saturday for the Kentucky Derby. This year, 50,000 ducks were dropped into the river and raced for the chance to win huge prizes like a 2023 Toyota Corolla. All the proceeds from the Kentucky Derby provide resources and programs to Harbor House, a local nonprofit. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot is calling on Texas Governor Greg Abbott to stop what she called the inhumane and dangerous action of busing migrants to her city. Lightfoot said the city has allowed more than 8,000 migrants since August of last year, but says Chicago has run out of resources and shelter space to accommodate the migrants. Lightfoot says her administration is aware of Abbott's plans to resume busing migrants to other cities in the coming days. It's been nearly 5 months since the death of dancer and television personality Stephen Twitch Boss. On Friday, a court in Los Angeles granted his widow Allison Holker with half of Boss's future earnings. Holker filed the court papers earlier this year because Boss did not have a will at the time of his death. Boss took his own life last December. He was just 40 years old. Boss was known for the dance world, and he served as DJ for Ellen DeGeneres' show. This morning, concerning the banking industry, as federal regulations race to save another troubled bank. The California Department of Financial Protection says the FDIC has seized First Republican Bank, the 3rd major U.S. bank to fail in 2 months. It has accepted a bid from JP Morgan Chase to assume all of its deposits. Jared Hill has more on that and other economic news playing out this week that could hit you in the wallet.
The FDIC has seized First Republic Bank, the 3rd major U.S. bank to fail in 2 months. According to the California Department of Financial Protection, it has accepted a bid from JP Morgan Chase to assume all of the bank's deposits. It's an effort by federal regulators to restore confidence in the banking industry as a whole.
We've got to prevent this from happening again, and the best way to do it is to guarantee these deposits.
Also today, a big change for some people looking to buy a home. There's a new mortgage fee structure that could lower closing costs for some borrowers with weaker credit scores, but raise them for others with a higher credit score. It's an effort to help people who've historically struggled to buy their first home. Meanwhile, on Capitol Hill, the battle over the debt ceiling continues. House Republicans passed a bill to raise the limit and cut spending. It's not expected to clear the democratically controlled Senate, but Republicans hope it brings President Biden to the negotiating table.
It's been over 2 months since President Biden has sat down with Speaker McCarthy to have negotiations. President Biden is clearly trying to run out the clock and create a debt crisis.
The president's saying he's not going to be hostage in having veterans cuts on health care, in having cuts on K through 12 education. He's saying we can discuss that, we can negotiate, but first pay your bill.
All the while, the Fed is gearing up for yet another potential interest rate hike on Wednesday to tamp down on rising prices. Jared Hill, CBS News.
First National Bank stock closed at 3.51 on Friday, just a fraction of the roughly 170 a share it traded for a year ago. The FDIC estimates that the cost to the deposit insurance fund will be about $13 billion. That's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with the weather.
Now we've got ourselves a clear, calm, and cold start to our Monday morning. We've got increasing winds, increasing temperatures, and rain chances all this week. Take a look at that when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Coming up on 6:19, time for a little weather trivia this morning. And we want to know this. What does cyclogenesis refer to? Is it tornadoes, the development of a high pressure, development of a low pressure system, or fair weather? We'll take a look at the answer in just a moment. But first, a live look at the MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line, looking back to the south. People beginning their morning commute, and they are beginning it with that heat on because it is chilly out there. KDOT camera, rather, at 69 and 400, just south of Pittsburgh. I am sure people also have their heat on there as well. Sun slowly beginning to rise, getting some very nice colors in the sky this morning, but we are cold under these clear skies. 40 in Joplin, 35 is what it feels like with a west breeze at about 7 miles an hour. Across the area, again, cold. 39 in Iola, 40 Chanute, 33 Parsons, 39 Independence, 41 in Miami, Neosho, and 39 Carthage and Lamar. We've also got winds to contend with. As the morning goes on, winds will start gusting 20, 30 miles an hour, and that means that we have an elevated fire danger, which also means that outdoor burning definitely not recommended for today. We'll make it into the mid-50s under sunny skies by late morning, holding on to mostly clear skies through the afternoon, maybe a passing cloud or two. Otherwise, still breezy, temperatures low to mid-60s. Some of us out west, though, may even push the mid to upper 60s today. We go into this evening, the winds will eventually begin to calm down for us. We'll hold on to those clear skies and we'll drop back once again into the lower 40s. Now, there are some changes on the horizon this week. One of those is we will start to warm up. The other of those is as we warm up, we get some more much needed rain chances into the area. So we go into Wednesday evening, we start to see a few more clouds and just off to our west, some showers and thunderstorms. And as we head through the overnight and into Thursday morning, more showers and thunderstorms across the area. And those will stick with us through the day on Thursday, into Thursday night, and into Friday morning. We'll have more showers and thunderstorms across the area. So again, much needed rain with this system that's coming in at the end of the week, and much needed warmer weather as the winds start to shift out of the south for us. The rain will let up by Friday evening, and then as we head into Saturday, we'll start to see more rain shower chances Saturday evening into early Sunday morning. So back to our question real quick. What does cyclogenesis refer to? Well, if you happen to guess C, development of a low pressure system, you would be correct. In fact, cyclogenesis is often found around the jet streams. Now, let's take a look at what cyclogenesis we may be having later this week. Now, tomorrow, breezy again, sunny skies, mid-60s, 70 on Wednesday, and again, a few more clouds in the evening. We start pushing near 80, maybe even at 80 as we go through the end of the week, but we have thunderstorm chances Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday evening again. A brief break on Sunday, still upper 70s, and this is what's nice is these warmer temperatures are going to hang out for a while. Upper 70s as we kick off the next work week. More much needed rain chances. Some thunderstorms Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday across the area. But of course, the other nice thing about this is as our temperatures warm up during the day, they will do so overnight as well. And it'll start to feel a lot more like May. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning. With warmer months ahead, a new survey finds more than half of Americans are concerned about developing skin cancer, even though they may have an elevated risk. Doctors are using this Melatonin Monday to raise awareness. Skylar Henry reports from Washington.
Rachel Ferris went to the dermatologist to check a rash on her stomach. She left the exam with a diagnosis she never saw coming.
I was going for a rash, didn't think that I was going to come out, being told that I had stage 1 melanoma.
The 28-year-old grew up as a competitive swimmer and visited tanning salons before meets. Without a family history of skin cancer, she never thought of that ultraviolet exposure as a risk for melanoma.
Sun exposure in tanning beds is what caused it. I just had a very low threshold for what my body could take.
Dermatologist Maral Kabirian-Skelsey says skin cancer is on the rise, with about 200,000 cases of melanoma each year. It's the deadliest form, but treatable if caught early. The American Academy of Dermatology says the best prevention is wearing sunscreen and sun protective clothing and watching for changes to your skin.
If you have a spot on your skin that has looked the same your whole life, and suddenly the edges might look different, or the color changes, if the size changes, that's an important factor. But in darker skin types, melanoma can be diagnosed often very late, and it appears in areas that are not necessarily sun exposed.
After having 8 cancerous spots removed, Ferris likes to spread the word.
Friends tell me they're going on a beach vacation. I'm like, wear your sunscreen.
An ounce of prevention that could save a life. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
Studies show using tanning beds before the age of 20 can increase your chances of developing melanoma by 47%. Researchers at Vanderbilt University have developed profiles to determine which children and teens are at greatest risk of self-harm. After evaluating more than 1,000 children and teens, they found boys ages 10 to 13 with ADHD, bipolar disorder, and autism spectrum disorders were very high risk. Also at high risk, females 14 through 17 with depression and anxiety, along with substance and trauma-related disorders. A large new study finds acute exposure to air pollution is linked with an increased risk of having an irregular heartbeat. Researchers in China also found among 6 pollutants, nitrogen dioxide, and this is the strongest association. And new researchers finds there are more effective ways to treat newborns who are exposed to opioids during pregnancy. A study in the New England Journal of Medicine found babies that were given the Eat, Sleep, and Console intervention, which includes swaddling and skin-to-skin contact, were ready for discharge about 6 days earlier than newborns given traditional care. That's a look at some of your today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got ourselves a calm, cold, quiet start to our Monday morning, but some changes on the way. We'll talk about all of that in your full forecast when we come back.
Right now at 6:30, we'll take you to MSSU, where we learn about the 5K pup run that was hosted there.
And we've got ourselves a cold but otherwise pretty decent start to our Monday morning, but we got some gusty winds and rain chances coming in. We'll talk about all that coming up.
Also, we'll take you to Pineville, Missouri to learn how Big Elk is preparing for its summer season.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:30. I'm Carrie Worthen.
I'm Chris Warner. So as we've been mentioning all morning, it's a bit of a cold one out there. Does not feel like May the 1st at all.
No, it does not.
And it's not going to feel like May, at least for the next couple of days, but then it's really going to start to feel like May. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line. Looking back to the south, you can see a little more daylight out there. We are looking good but cold. Same from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400, just south of Pittsburgh. More daylight. Looks pretty decent, but like I said, it is cold. And here comes the sun, and we got some beautiful colors ahead of that official sunrise out there. Clear skies, but again, cold. 40 in Joplin, feeling like 35 with a west breeze at 7 miles an hour. Across the area, temperatures look about like this. 39 Carthage, Lamar, Pittsburgh, 40 in Chanute, 33 in Parsons, 39 Chatopa, 38 Miami, and 40s in Neosho and Monette. As we get our morning started, winds will start to pick up. We're talking gusts in that roughly 20, 30 mile an hour range. So elevated fire danger and outdoor burning not recommended today. Will otherwise be sunny into the mid 50s by late morning. We head into the afternoon, maybe a passing cloud or two, otherwise clear skies. Still breezy, temperatures pushing the lower to mid 60s. However, some of us out west could actually start to reach the mid to upper 60s today. We go into this evening, the winds will start to calm down through the evening and overnight hours. We remain clear and cold again, dropping back down to a low of 43 degrees. But then some additional changes. Tomorrow still chilly, mid 60s. Sunny skies, breezy again, increasing clouds late Wednesday near 70. Then look at this. We're pushing upper 70s to 80 degrees as we head through the end of this week and into the weekend. We also have some thunderstorm chances, more much needed rain as we head into Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday evening. We get a pause in the rain on Sunday, and then we see additional thunderstorm chances Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So again, much needed rainfall out there. And the best part, at least for me, is the temperatures remaining in the upper 70s, which helps our overnight lows remain nice as well. Carrie?
Thanks, Chris. Students in Missouri Southern State University's kinesiology department hosted their annual 5K run. This year's 5K was puppy run themed. Runners could enter the race individually or race alongside their furry friends. The department teamed up with the Golden Paw Adoption Center and Sanctuary to bring dogs for people to play, run, or walk with. The run is organized every year to remember Lori Pludged, who graduated from MSSU in 1986.
My students every semester or every year in the practicum and wellness class, they put on this 5K. It gives them real world experience about how an event actually works. It's not just you wake up and you decide, oh, we're going to run a 5K today. There's a lot of work that goes behind it. So this is the culmination of all their semester's hard work.
The race was held at Leggett and Platt Athletic Center. The Carthage High School band program hosted their 4th annual mattress sale up at Carthage High School. Band members sold deals on over 20 styles of name brand mattresses, all of which were on display for local shoppers. Profits from the sale went directly to the band program.
Funds that we raise today will help us in the fall when we do marching season. We have many things that we have to purchase for our field show competition, our field show itself. We have props and just different things, also feeding the kids at different times.
The sale was only one day and ended yesterday evening. With summer approaching, rivers are going to be full of kayaks, canoes, and rafts. Big Elk's floating and camping site is located in Pineville, Missouri. They are open for the season, but still working to make sure everything is ready for guests.
We're in the fun business. We love people, and it's so great to see people that came back in the 80s that are now bringing their grandchildren. It's family.
Big Elk's Float and Camping in Pineville, Missouri has already opened for the season. From a variety of kayaks, canoes, paddleboards, and tubes, there are multiple ways to float down the river.
We have aluminum canoes and we have plastic canoes. We have paddleboards. We have 3 different kinds of tubes to float in. And the tube business is huge because we'll give people a tube with a kayak paddle, and it's just fun.
Big Elk's daily hours may open at 8 a.m., but they strive to help their customers to the fullest extent.
We have a lot of times people that come in early and want to go upstream on Big Sugar to float and fish. We meet them early, sometimes 6:30, 7 o'clock, we'll meet them. You know, we're in the customer business, and that's that's what drives us.
Daniel says safety is one of the most important things, from going through every canoe and kayak to checking every life jacket and paddle.
We're looking forward to a big season. We're ready. We're known to have the cleanest restrooms on the river. We have the cleanest fans, the safest fans we feel. Safety is very, very important to us because it just ensures a better trip for our customers. When we're on our A game, our customers are going to be on an A+ game.
Big Elk has 17 cabins, 2 of which are newly built, and they added some new rock to the RV pads to get ready for the summer. This morning, we are discussing expressing yourself.
Well, the day begins for these 5th graders with the usual subjects, math, science, reading, and even PE. And those may appear easy in comparison when it comes to talking about gun violence, global warming, bullying, and racism. The students chose a topic and then use animation to explain their thoughts.
But maneuvering wasn't always easy, according to the animator David Heredia, who created this 5-week program. So instead, you allow them to talk through their art. They found ways to help solve or highlight the issues. They got to feel like celebrities as they shared their animations with the world.
And that brings us to our question for you this morning. How do you express yourself? So far, we got a number of choices. We got 27% of you saying that you go with outdoor activities. Another 27% say you do some of those items on our list. 13% of you do it through the performing arts. 20% of you do it through art. And another 13% of you say you do something that's not on our list. So make sure you take time to vote through our website, through our app, and take part in the discussion on our Facebook page.
I was reading, we probably do journaling and writing, with our job.
I'm not sure if that's how I'm expressing myself sometimes. If it was, there might be some more colorful news stories to report, I would think.
Okay, that's a look at our top news stories coming up on this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Adidas investigators sue the artist formerly known as Kanye West over its Yeezy deal.
And we've got ourselves a chilly start to our Monday, and you look at the flagpole, wind's starting to pick up already. We'll have the latest on that and some rain chances coming up.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News, more real news in the morning. A Consumer Watch this morning. Twitter CEO Elon Musk announced over the weekend that starting sometime this month, media companies could begin charging users to read articles they published on the social media platform. This would allow users who don't want to pay for a full monthly subscriptions to pay a higher price per article when they only want to access some of the outlet's content. Musk calls it a win-win for media organizations and the public. Investors are suing Adidas over its Yeezys deal with Kanye West. Adidas cuts ties with Ye in October after the rapper made a series of anti-Semitic remarks. In their suit filed Friday, shareholders allege the company knew about the risk of partnering with the rapper and failed to take precautionary measures. In February, Adidas said it expects to lose $1.3 billion in sales this year due to the Yeezy deal falling apart. And starting today, a little-known mortgage subcharge is getting an overhaul that could lower costs for borrowers with lower credit scores and increase them from some borrowers with stronger credit scores. The new fee change will only affect some home buyers with mortgages backed by Freddie Mac or Fannie Mae and won't impact those who already own their home. In 2023, Major League Baseball season is heating up and so are home runs. And a new study suggests part of that boost is due to climate change. Astrid Martinez has the story from Yankee Stadium.
With home runs flying out of major league ballparks at record clips, there's new research that suggests climate change is helping fuel the power surge.
Warmer air is less dense, so balls will fly farther when they're hit in baseball.
Dartmouth College researcher Christopher Callahan looked at 100,000 games spanning 60 years. He's calculated warmer temperatures have helped add about 500 extra homers since 2010. And he expects those numbers to climb as global temps climb.
Several hundred more home runs per year. That could rise to as many as 10% more per year relative to what we have now.
Researchers say climate change is only one piece of the puzzle. Other factors include stadium construction, advanced player training, and analytics.
Of course, baseball fans love to see home runs no matter what. So this long ball frenzy is another good reason to come out to the ballpark.
They're definitely exciting because it's like, the biggest play in the game almost.
Not all fans recognize the homers as purely science.
Not really. I think no matter, what the weather is, there's going to be a lot of home runs in the MLB.
But studying how warming temperatures may be impacting America's pastime has helped highlight the subtle impacts of climate change on everyday life. Astrid Martinez, CBS News, New York.
Researchers say MLB's vast collection of data over many decades helped make this study possible. That's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with your look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got the winds beginning to increase, the sun beginning to rise, and rain chances building by the end of the week. We're going to take a complete look at your forecast here in just a couple of minutes, but before we do that, it is Monday, which, you know, it means you probably don't want to get out of bed just yet. And believe me, it was this tough for me to do so. So we're going to help you with that. We're going to celebrate some birthdays and anniversaries. But before we do that, why don't we head over to New York and see what's happening on CBS Mornings.
I'm Nate Burleson. Coming up on CBS Mornings, Anna Wintour takes Gail behind the scenes for a preview of this year's Met Gala exhibition. That's coming up on CBS Mornings.
All right, time for some Monday birthdays here in the 4 states, and we're going to start in Parsons with Ace Alloway, celebrating birthday number 11. Happy birthday, Ace.
And next we have Ellie Bloom from Frontenac, turning 14. Look at that fish, I like it.
And we've got Daniel Nelson celebrating number 14 in Stiffville, Kansas. A very happy birthday to you, Daniel.
And next we have the big 21, Allie Knoll from Walnut, Kansas. Look at her fish, I love it.
And we've got Logan Wilson celebrating birthday number 26 in Erie. Happy birthday, Logan.
And next we have Nathan Archie, turning 45 from Neosho, who is Debbie Haynes' son-in-law. She is the traffic assistant here at KOAM.
And Melissa Schwann is celebrating birthday number 53 in Weir. Happy birthday, Melissa.
And then we have Kanye Wilson turning 60 from Joplin, Missouri. Happy birthday from the Cornerstone staff.
And Steve Turner celebrating birthday number 70 in Joplin with love from your loving wife of 42 years.
And then we have Verna Mae Wilson, who's turning 96 from Lockwood. Happy birthday.
And Dr. Curtis Gregory celebrating a birthday in Columbus. Happy birthday, Dr. Gregory.
And still in Columbus, we have Cindy Neely. Happy birthday.
And we've got Dan and Bev Dye celebrating their 24th wedding anniversary. Happy anniversary to you two.
And then we have Frank and Judy Mister with their 28th anniversary. Happy anniversary.
Another anniversary here, Melissa and Daniel Schwann celebrating their 12th over in Weir. Happy anniversary to the Schwanns.
And then we have Maddie Wolf, whose birthday is today. Happy birthday, Maddie.
And then we've got our very own Titus Stanley. You don't see him, but he is a big part of making the KOAM News at Noon happen. He's one of our production assistants, and he is a U.S. Army veteran. So we thank you, Titus, and we wish you a very, very happy birthday.
And we'll see you soon here at work.
Yeah, we will. Here in just a couple more hours, you'll be spending your birthday with us.
And then we have Vina Jackson from Galena. Happy birthday from all your friends at SRS.
And last but certainly not least, Millie Martin over in Independence celebrating birthday number 56. A very happy birthday and anniversary to all of you. That was a very good list. Carrie, we want all of our lists to be very good. What do people need to do to make them very good?
All they have to do is submit their birthdays to birthdayswiththeS@KOAMnewsnow.com.
And of course, while you're on our website, why don't you take time to sign up for the KOAM Birthday Club? I'm going to tell you why. You get great deals from local businesses. Additionally, you get a birthday message from your friends here at KOAM. So all you need to do is head over to KOAMnewsnow.com and sign up for that birthday club today. All right, let's take a look outside. This is MoDOT camera at 20th and Rangeline looking back to the south. We got the sun coming up. It looks nice out there, but it is cold. So each of these cars, I'm sure, have their heater on. As we look at the KDOT camera at 69 and 400, these cars, they knew they were coming up, so they're running away. But I guarantee you, they have their heat on as well, despite the sunshine, because even though it looks quite nice, it is quite cold as well for this first day of May. We're at 40 in Joplin. Feels like 35 with a west breeze at 7, but that wind is starting to pick up a bit out there, and it will continue to do so as the morning progresses. We got 36 in Iola, 40 Chanute, 33 in Parsons, 41 Miami, Neosho, Monette, 39 Carthage and Lamar. As we get our morning started, again, winds will start to increase 20 to 30 mile an hour wind gusts. With that said, we have an elevated fire danger, so outdoor burning, that's a big no-no for today. We're looking at sunny skies otherwise, pushing the mid-50s. We head into the afternoon, we hang on to those sunny skies. skies, maybe a passing cloud here or there. Low to mid 60s for most of us, but some of us out in southeast Kansas could even reach the mid to upper 60s today. The winds will start to calm down through the evening and overnight hours. We remain clear and cold, back down to a low of 43 degrees. And as we look at the week ahead, breezy again tomorrow, same 20-30 mile an hour wind gusts, mid 60s, sunny skies, so not too bad otherwise. And then we head into Wednesday. We start the day mostly clear, make it to 70, and then clouds will begin to increase in the evening ahead of thunderstorm chances as we head into Thursday. Friday morning, a pause and more showers as we head into Saturday evening. But the big thing that I really like about all of this, not only are we getting the much needed rain continuing in the area, but our temperatures climb into the upper 70s to near 80. And that assists our overnight lows in getting a little bit better as well. And that trend continues as we head into next week. So we get to Sunday, looking at a brief break from some shower activity, upper 70s, great day to go outside. And then right when we need it most, during the work week when we're going to be cooped up inside anyway, more shower and thunderstorm chances Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, and the temperatures remaining nice under that rain in the upper 70s. That's Check Your Forecast. Coming up when the KOAM Morning News switches over to Fox 14, New Zealand ramps up its efforts to save its national bird, the kiwi.
Here's the check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. A pickup swerves to avoid a stopped vehicle and ends up T-boning another near Carthage, Missouri. About 4:30 p.m. on Saturday, reports of two-vehicle crash at Country Road 170 and Fur Road State Highway HH was called into Jasper County 911. One driver was transported to Mercy in Carthage. The injured driver was identified as Jason Jones of Carthage. He was operating a 1990 Chevy 1500 pickup. He suffered moderate injuries but was wearing his seatbelt. The other driver, John Kilmer of Carthage, was also wearing his seatbelt and was not injured. About 11:30 on Saturday night, reports of a motorcycle crash near Schiffendecker and Juggle Boulevard was called into Joplin 911. The crash was initially discovered by a Jasper County Sheriff deputy who happened to notice the crash and called his dispatch. It was a single vehicle crash involving a motorcycle. The motorcycle was traveling south on Schiffendecker, clipped the curb, and lost control, which ejected the driver. The driver traveled about 300 feet before coming to rest on the west sidewalk. He was rushed to the hospital, and there is no update on his condition. Big Elk Floating and Camping has already opened for the season, but are expected to have a full schedule this summer. From a variety of kayaks, canoes, paddleboards, and tubes, there are multiple ways to float down the river. Big Elk's daily hours may open at 8 a.m., but they strive to help their customers to the fullest extent. Drew Daniels says safety is one of the most important things, from going through every canoe and kayak to checking every life jacket and paddle. Students in Missouri Southern States University Kinesiology Department hosted their annual 5K run. This year's 5K was puppy run themed. Runners could enter the race individually or race alongside their furry friends. The department teamed up with Golden Paw Adoption Center and Sanctuary to bring dogs for people to play, run, or walk with. The run was organized every year to remember Lori Pledge, who graduated from MSSU in 1986. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
All right, we got sunny skies, we got breezy conditions, elevated fire danger, winds gusting 20-30 miles an hour, temperatures pushing the low to mid 60s across the area. Winds will calm down this evening. We remain clear and chilly, dropping back down to a low of 43. A little bit breezy tomorrow as well, mid 60s, 70 by Wednesday. Thunderstorm chances Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evening, and temperatures returning into the upper 70s to near 80.
Well, coming up today at noon, we're making cheesy bacon pierogi bake in the Mr. Futess kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. Some wisdom for parents from a best-selling philosopher. He'll tell you the one question you should be asking your kids every day. And of course, we've got a lot more coming up when we switch over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m. And we will see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.